Oriental Remedies Group is a patient-oriented leading healthcare organization that offers both TCM treatments and tech-enhanced therapies. Our team of 7 Singaporean bilingual physicians have on average over 10 years of experience and are trained in both traditional Chinese medicine and biomedical science. On top of TCM therapies such as acupuncture, Oriental Remedies Group is the only TCM clinic offering electrolymphatic drainage therapy, a state-of-the-art technology using an FDA-registered medical device to help our patients feel better, faster. Today's webinar is part of our web series, The TCM Way, where our experienced physicians share about how TCM can help you in every part of your life. So, why are we holding this series of webinars? It's simple. We have a bold vision to help all mankind be the best you can be by helping you to lead a fulfilling and healthy life. We have seen many patients whose quality of life is affected by having poor health, which is why we strongly drive education to help the public be in the optimal physical condition to achieve their full potential in life. Oriental Remedies Group has been featured on various established media platforms such as The Straits Times, Channel News Asia, and The Business Times. We are also proud to have partnered with many well-renowned companies such as MHC, Health Promotion Board, and the studio that brought us all the movies we know and love, Disney. So for today, we have a star-studded lineup. We have not only one physician, but we have 3 physicians who will be sharing their experience and expertise. So our first speaker for today is Physician Lim Yang, a senior physician from Oriental Remedies Group. Physician Lim graduated from the Nanyang Technological University and the Beijing University of Chinese Medicine with a double degree in biomedical science and TCM, followed by a master's degree in TCM, and he was awarded the prestigious Chinese government scholarship. Physician Lim specializes in male fertility issues, as his passion is to help patients with their male sexual function, fertility, and health. Physician Lim tailors his approach that will most benefit his patients, drawing from his strong clinical experience after seeing patients with various male infertility concerns in Beijing for 3 years. He is also an experienced speaker on TCM and wellness topics, as he frequently conducts talks and sharing sessions with the public and at corporate events. Physician Lim uses humorous analogies to get his message across through to his patients, so you'll be hearing some of that humor from him later. Our second speaker for today is Physician Julie Loh. Like Physician Lim, Physician Loh also graduated from Nanyang Technological University and the Beijing University of Chinese Medicine with a double degree in biomedical science and TCM. She was even awarded the Chinese government scholarship for her outstanding academic achievements during her time in Beijing. Physician Loh is an experienced trainer for generous TCM wellness programs to the general public, secondary school, and polytechnic students. She has also been in active practice since graduation, treating patients with various ailments such as pain management, holistic weight loss management, gastrointestinal issues, and she also developed an immense interest in pediatric care and female fertility, being a mother of 1 herself. And last but not least, we have Physician Leong Wei-Zhen, the Chief Medical Officer of Oriental Remedies Group. Physician Leong also graduated from the Nanyang Technological University and the Beijing University of Chinese Medicine with a double degree in biomedical science and TCM, followed by a master's degree in TCM, as she was also awarded the prestigious Chinese government scholarship. She set up Oriental Remedies Group in 2013 with the vision and passion to bring the best of both Eastern and Western treatments to help better the lives of her patients. So I shall now pass the time on to Physician Lim, who will begin the webinar. Physician Lim, please.
Thank you, Davis, for the kind introduction. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our afternoon talk on improving your fertility. Before we begin, I want to let all of you know that I feel you on your journey. Even though I'm not married myself, but from my years of experience working with patients in fertility, I know the journey can be both mentally and financially taxing. So I hope that today's talk can really value add to you and help you get a baby successfully. Today's talk will consist of 3 speakers. Firstly, I will give everyone an introduction to the different phases of fertility concerns and how TCM aids in fertility. After which, Physician Julie Loh, who is also a new mom, will share with you in more detail how TCM addresses the various issues using herbs and acupressure. And lastly, Physician Leong will share more about TCM support. Now, infertility has a standard definition as well as an unofficial one. The textbook answer is inability to have a clinical pregnancy after more than 12 months of regular unprotected sexual intercourse. However, it is understood among fertility specialists that if either you or your partner is above 35 years of age and have been consistently trying for a kid for more than 6 months without success, then you need to seek professional help. Infertility might be an issue of the reproductive ability, but it is also heavily affected by multiple factors ranging from overall wellness, exposure to toxins, lifestyle, and many others. Due to time limitation, we cannot cover all these factors, but we will touch on the key ones. Now, there are usually 4 steps to your fertility journey, and Oriental Remedies can support you in different ways throughout your journey. In general, whichever group you belong to, TCM is useful in helping you regulate your hormones, reduce menstrual abnormalities, and also provide lifestyle advice to optimize your chances of pregnancy. On top of that, there are also specific ways TCM can help for each of the 4 groups of patients. For the first group, we call them the exploring. So these are people who have just started trying for a baby for under a year. So in order to maximize their chances of pregnancy, this woman would likely be trying to time their ovulation by tracking their menstrual cycle using BBT reading. BBT stands for basal body temperature, as well as by observing changes in the cervical mucus. Some people who find this tedious might opt for ovulation strips as it is more convenient. At this stage, you may or you may not have any fertility issues, but it is good to start preparing your body for a successful and smooth pregnancy. Physician Leong will be sharing on how simple herbs you can easily prepare and also how acupressure you can do for yourself at home. Next on, we have the second group of patients who we call the anxious, who after a year or more of trying, they have still been unsuccessful. Patients in this group typically experience irregular menstrual periods, or their ovulation might be simply too hard to track. So in order to solve their problems, they might be going online to the internet searching for nutrition advice or recommended diets. However, I have to stress that at this juncture, it is very important to have your fertility assessed by consulting a fertility specialist and having the necessary tests done, like blood tests and ultrasound, to find out exactly why you are not getting pregnant. Only then can the correct next steps be taken. Let me give you an example. If a woman were to do a HSG and find out that her fallopian tubes, both of her fallopian tubes are blocked, then the logical next step should be to do a surgery to remove the blockage first. However, with that said, for this second group of patients, on top of everything I just mentioned, TCM herbs will also be useful in helping regulate the menstrual cycle and reducing your anxiety. Previously, we had a patient diagnosed with PCOS. PCOS stands for polycystic ovary syndrome. So women with PCOS, their menstrual period is very irregular. And to make things worse, she was suffering from very severe menstrual cramps. How severe, you say? To the point whereby she had to take up to 10 painkillers for just one menstrual cycle. But with help from us, using TCM herbs, we managed to reduce the amount of painkillers she required to just 2 for her menstrual cycle, which is a huge improvement. Furthermore, her period has gotten a lot more regular, and we are very thankful she has made such huge improvements. Moving on to the third group of patients, these are patients who have typically gone for a professional consult, and the specialist determine that they require treatment, be it IUI, IVF, or ICSI. ICSI stands for intracytoplasmic sperm injection, and it is especially useful for males who are suffering from sperm morphology issues or low sperm count. However, for today's talk, we are focusing on the ladies. But if you're keen, I will also be speaking on male infertility next week. Okay, back to topic. So, whichever of these three procedures you are preparing for, TCM can use a variety of treatment methods ranging from herbal remedies, acupuncture, or massage to help you regulate your hormones, reduce menstrual abnormalities, and increase blood flow to the womb. We had a patient who was going through IVF due to her husband's poor sperm morphology issue. And she went through daily acupuncture before egg retrieval and also timed her acupuncture before her egg transfer. We are very glad that she's now a mom to a healthy 8-month-old baby, now on her very first IVF try. I believe the success of getting a baby on the first try is a huge emotional relief because you save money and you don't have to go through all the injections and procedures all over again. And of course, if you do get pregnant, which is the happiest outcome we want, TCM will also be able to help you with postpartum care for best recovery. We all know that childbirth is a very taxing period for the mom, especially if a C-section surgery was done. So we do customized herbs to be able to help you for your quick recovery. And we also do pediatric massage for the little ones to improve their immunity. There was once a few years back, we actually had a mom call us on our off day for our clinic, so we weren't working at all. And she said that her son came down with high fever and sore throat and wanted to seek TCM help. So we actually opened on our off day and gave treatment for her son. And her son recovered very quickly. The mom was so grateful that even after 2 years, they have still continued to come down to our clinic seeking TCM help for regular health maintenance. So now you must be thinking, why is this TCM physician talking about so much of Western procedures or concepts like IVF? Well, there are actually more similarities than differences in how Western medicine, modern medicine I should say, and TCM view fertility concerns. It is just two different perspectives trying to solve a similar problem. While Western medicine tends to drill into a specific issue, trying to resolve it, for example, the tube blockage example which I mentioned in the earlier slide, TCM takes a holistic approach to the body by seeing how different things might be influencing your fertility. If I were to give you an analogy, imagine a successful businessman like Bill Gates. Western medicine, in a bid to find out how he's so successful, maybe look at Bill Gates' brain and check his DNA to find out what gene makes him so successful. Whereas TCM will not only look at his physical body, but also the environment he grew up in, where he spent his formative years, or any external stimuli that made him the successful owner of Microsoft. With that said, let's see how modern medicine and TCM acknowledge the role of age, hormonal imbalances, and structural issues. For age, both modern medicine and TCM are similar. If you go on to SingStat, you will find that the peak of women's fertility actually peaks at around age 35. And after that, it starts to decline. And at age 42, it plummets. Similarly, in TCM, we have an old saying that women's health changes in multiples of 7. Women reach their peak health at age 28, and at 35, it declines. And by 42, they will have much difficulty trying to conceive and have a child. When it comes to hormonal imbalance, it is very straightforward with Western medicine when they are able to do the blood test. And you can see which hormones are high and which are low. For TCM, we don't measure hormones, but we acknowledge its presence as early as 2,000 years ago in the classical TCM text. And we use herbs that are found to have hormone regulating properties. However, when you come to us for a consult, we use visual cues and presenting symptoms to determine if you have imbalanced hormone levels. For structural issues, Western medicine has a clear advantage. We have modern imaging technology and surgical procedures to help diagnose or intervene. TCM welcomes the use of such technology and advances because not only does it help us with our diagnosis, but it also helps us solve problems which in the past was much more difficult to solve. For nutrition and lifestyle, modern medicine would promote food high in vitamins, omega-3, rich in antioxidants, minerals, protein, and low in pesticides and herbicides. These are sound principles which we also recommend. However, TCM would add on further by asking you to eat food that promotes blood circulation, which Physician Leong would cover shortly, and specifically avoiding food that are overly spicy, cold, raw, to prevent a person who has phlegm dampness from worsening. But more on that later. Perhaps most distinctly, TCM has concepts of body constitution like cold womb syndrome, kidney deficiency, and phlegm dampness, which is foreign to Western medicine. But it helps guide our usage of herbs, and this is again proven after more than 2 millennia of history. As you can see, actually, there are lots of similarities in how modern medicine and TCM view the factors that affect fertility. As we have limited time today, I'll now pass the time to Physician Leong, who will focus more on cold womb syndrome and share key convenient tips for you to use at home. Physician Leong, please.
Thank you, Physician Lim, for sharing with us the different stages a female typically goes through during the fertility journey. So currently, you must be thinking, what is cold womb syndrome? So usually, there are two easy ways to tell. So the first one will be through our menstruation. So ever encountered your menstrual cycle having a lot of blood clots? A typical menstrual duration lasts for around 3 to 7 days. For the first few days, it will be bright red in color, and the last few days will be slightly darker red in color. In TCM, the color and the texture of our menstrual blood often reflects the state of our body. Menstrual blood that is typically red in color, it is optimal because it shows that you have good blood circulation and there's no stagnation. However, many women have menstrual color that is seen at the bottom, dark red with blood clots. So this shows that your body has impeded blood and qi circulation, and there's excessive cold in the body. So having a cold womb can impact your chances of pregnancy. So for today, I will spend more time explaining the concept of cold womb to all of you. The second way is by physical symptoms as well as temperatures. So I have a patient who came to me a few years ago with very heavy menstrual cramps. And her menstrual cramps is so bad that she has to take painkillers on a daily basis. So it took her around 3 months worth of medication and acupuncture to treat her condition. When she came to find me, she had cold limbs, cold abdomen, and she has frequent urination, which are characteristic of cold womb syndrome. So after 3 months of treatment, she has fully recovered. So you probably might be thinking, you have a friend who has cold womb syndrome. So how do you detect whether you have cold womb syndrome? So I'm going to do a short activity with you. I'll need all of your hands, your palm. So you place it on your chest. Direct skin contact so that you can feel the temperature of your skin. Then after that, you use the same palm and feel your lower abdomen. I'll give you a few seconds to do so. It requires direct skin contact as well. So do you feel a temperature difference? So having cold womb syndrome is like growing a seed in very cold weather. So you think about it, when the weather is very cold, it impedes blood circulation to the womb area. So having a warm womb can bring in more nutrients and more circulation to the womb. So this is important, especially after embryo implantation. Having Combs syndrome makes conceiving very hard. Not only makes conceiving difficult, impact the fetal development as well as the implantation. So when we talk about conception, from a biomedical standpoint, having a cold womb means that the uterine lining it is not very receptive to the warming hormone, which is progesterone. As all of you know, progesterone actually brings a rise in the basal body temperature. So women with this diagnosis often have a combination of different body constitutions, which include kidney yang deficiency, characterized by cold limbs, cold abdomen, frequent urination, as well as blood stagnation. Cold makes the blood flow slower. So the focus of TCM treatment here will be to warm the uterus up and to maintain progesterone at a healthy level. So when we talk about implantation, having a warm womb can ensure nutrients being sent to the uterus more efficiently so that the embryo can implant. So after fertilization, the embryo has less than 1 week to implant on the uterine lining. And as all of you know, the uterine lining consists of vast, multiple blood vessels that help to nourish the embryo. So the implantation of the embryo provides a direct link to the blood vessels, and this link has to be maintained until the 3rd month of pregnancy when the placenta forms. So that's why we emphasize so much on having a warm womb. So when the fetus is growing, any weakness in the uterus can result in miscarriage. So this is why we emphasize so much of having Combs syndrome can result in the decrease in fertility chances. So when patients come and see us, we actually have a lot of different tips that we can teach them, including lifestyle changes and environmental tips. But due to time constraints, I will share with you 2 factors that most people are unaware of. Firstly, please avoid cold drinks and cold salads. So if all of you or if any of you have attended our previous webinars, Physician Leong talked about cold salads. So can you remember what they talked about? About cold salads being very cooling in nature, and it harms our digestive system, and same goes for our reproductive system as well. So avoiding cold drinks and salads is a very simple lifestyle tip that can help you to increase your fertility chances. So the second thing I want to talk about are chemicals. So you'll be thinking, why is a TCM physician telling you about chemicals? Living in the current environment, we are exposed to a lot of chemicals around us. So let me bring your attention to one kind of chemical, plastics. So can anyone make a guess? How much plastics do you think you unintentionally consume in a year? Some tell me it's 50 grams. Some say 100 grams. So on average, we may be unintentionally consuming 250 grams of plastic a year. Isn't it shocking? So according to this study from WWF, which is Worldwide Fund for Nature, we could be consuming the weight of 1 whole credit card in a month and 1 whole grapefruit worth of plastics in a year. So why am I sharing this information with you? Because this information impacts fertility. Plastics, or BPA, which is called bisphenol A to be exact, can affect the number of follicles developing into mature eggs in the ovaries. And there's actually studies that show that increased exposure to BPA is also linked to Down syndrome in offsprings, which is something that we wouldn't want for our kids. So although the mechanism of action, I think they are still trying to find out more, but BPA is thought to have an estrogen-like impact on both male and female. So for all of you who are trying, for the ladies out there, as well as your husbands, so remember to let them know to avoid environmental toxins, maybe cook more at home and less takeaway food. So after all the environmental information as well as the food information, you must be scared, or maybe you may be worried, but not to worry, because we have successfully helped many women overcome Combs syndrome, and I will share with you some of the tips that you can do at home on a daily basis. So this includes food, things that you can eat, and as well as acupressure points, things that you can massage. And lastly, how Oriental Remedies can help you with TCM service and support on your fertility journey. So before we share all this information with all of you, one thing to take note. If you think you might be pregnant, or you just completed your embryo transfer, probably we will not recommend you to take the herbs or do the acupressure points unless advised by your physicians. So if you have any doubts, please do remember to consult your physicians and see what kind of herbs suit you better. So any one of you heard about button tongue or egg treasure soup? It is actually a very, very common and nourishing and tasty soup for women. So do you know when is the best time to take egg treasure soup? The best time to take egg treasure soup, it is after your menstruation to nourish your qi and nourish your blood. It is not recommended for you to take during your menstruation as it may result in a heavier menstrual flow. So how does egg treasure soup help with Coleman syndrome? Can you recall the symptoms that we said about Coleman syndrome earlier? About menstrual cramps? About your blood clots? About cold limbs, cold abdomen? So the herbs inside egg treasure soup can help with that. The 8 herbs that are used are used to warm up the body, nourish qi, nourish your blood. And let's share with you 3 of the herbs that we usually use inside your egg treasure soup. First one is tang kui. Have you heard about tang kui before? And do you know the other name of tang kui? It is called female ginseng. So it is good for women and it has ginseng-like effects, which is to nourish your qi. Fuling, also known as poria. For women who have water retention during your menstruation, this is a very, very good herb as it helps to release all the dampness inside the body and calms the mind at the same time. What about bai shao? Bai shao is commonly used to alleviate pain. So for people with menstrual cramps, sometimes we add it into our decoction. And it helps with breast distension and premenstrual symptoms. So how often can you take button tongue or egg treasure soup? It is very easy. Just 1 to 2 times after your menstrual cycle will do. And this soup is commonly found in the supermarkets in Singapore or in medical halls. So it is very convenient. So sometimes I do encounter patients telling me that, Physician Loh, do you have anything simpler, like powder form, anything that I can drink directly, I don't have to cook? We do have. Have you drank rose tea before? Do you like the taste? I guess many women out there will love receiving roses from their husbands. And although the TCM rose herb that we use, it is slightly smaller. I'm not sure if you can see. It is slightly smaller, but it is equally good for women as it helps to nourish and balance our blood, and it helps to calm our mind and reduce stress as well. Lastly, it is good for our complexion. So a lot of women with hormonal conditions are linked to our emotions. So for example, just now Physician Lim talked about PCOS, am I right? This is an endocrine disorder that is seen in a lot of women of reproductive age. So research has shown that PCOS can result in higher levels of anxiety or emotional distress in women. So we have formulated a Serenity blend over here. This Serenity blend actually helps with people who suffer from emotional stress, highly stressful environment. This can help our female patients warm their womb and help calm their mind at the same time. Serenity blend is actually inspired by a classical TCM formula that helps to harmonize our stress and warm the womb at the same time. So inside this blend, there's 5 herbs out of the 8 herbs inside egg treasure soup. So for those of you who are stressed at home, with work, with your fertility, or maybe you are like me with a little one at home, so you tend to get a bit frustrated from time to time. So you can just add 1.5 scoops of Serenity blend into your water or into your rose tea like me. In fact, I have a colleague here who tried the Serenity blend just because she wants to try the taste of it. And after trying, she told us that she feels calmer within the hour. So this shows the mind-calming effects of rose as well as Serenity blend. So after talking about food, the soup to drink, the tea to drink, now I will share with you some of the acupressure points that you can do at home. And acupuncture is actually a very popular method that can help and stimulate ovulation, helps in implantation, and to ensure a healthy pregnancy journey. So the 3 acupoints that I teach today, you can massage at home on a daily basis. These can help to improve your fertility chances. So before I introduce the different points, let me introduce my model for today, Mr. Oliver. So the acupoints taught today can be found on the leg. So you can see Mr. Oliver's leg, am I right? 2 points are found along the spleen meridian. So the first one I'm going to teach today, it is called Yin Ling Quan. It is also called SP9. So where is Yin Ling Quan? It is located right below the knee at the inner portion of our leg. So how do we locate Yin Ling Quan? So everyone, you know where your shin is, right? The shin is the most prominent part of your bone. So once we feel our shin, move to the inner part of the bone and we follow the bone all the way up. Okay? Follow the bone all the way up. When it hits the curve, this point is called Yin Ling Quan or SP9. So press it down, hold for 1 minute. So due to time constraints, I can't wait for 1 minute for you, but I can press it down for 1 minute to stimulate. So Yin Ling Quan, it is very good with water retention, to treat water retention, to treat dampness, clear the dampness of the body. And it is also very good with people with chronic yeast infections, which will affect their fertility chances. This is called Yin Ling Quan, remember, SP9. The second acupoint that I'm going to teach, remember, for pregnant ladies, this may not be a advisable acupoint for you to use right now. This is called San Ning Jiao, which is called SP6. How do we locate it? First, we have to find the inner ankle, here. Okay, find your own inner ankle. Then after that, your San Ning Jiao, it is 4 fingers above your inner ankle. So 4 fingers put together, this is around 3 inches. Put it above the inner ankle. It is right above your index finger behind the bone. Of course, I can't use my 4 fingers and put it on Mr. Oliver because you can only use your own fingers to measure your own acupoint. So press it down, hold for another minute. A lot of physicians like to use San Ning Jiao. Why is it? Because this is the only acupoint that can help to regulate 3 organs at the same time. Our spleen, our liver, as well as the kidney, which functions, if it functions normally, it is very good to increase their fertility chances. So has it been 1 minute yet? Okay, so I'm going to teach you the last acupoint. I'm going to put Mr. Oliver down because this acupoint itself, it is on the leg and Mr. Oliver's leg is too small. So let's invite the leg. For women out there who are stressed, anxious, thinking about work, thinking about fertility, this is actually a very good acupoint. Why? Because this is along the liver meridian, which helps to govern our emotions, which is anger. When you're anxious, when you're stressed, pressing this acupoint can help you calm your mind. So how do we find this acupoint? This acupoint name is called Tai Chong, also called liver 3. So it is located between your first toe and the second toe. Press it down. Press on the webbing, go all the way down until it hits the bone. Press it down. How do you feel? For 1 minute. Supposedly you should feel a bit sore, maybe a bit tight. So after pressing for 1 minute, maybe some may come down. Okay, this is a very good acupoint. Why? Because this is also often used in lymphatic drainage, and this is called the flush point of the foot. So some of you have been along this fertility journey more than others. And I understand that sometimes patients can get a bit frustrating and anxious. So this point can help to regulate qi, and so that you can massage more for this. So remember the 3 acupoints that we teach just now? Your Yin Ling Quan, San Ning Jiao, as well as Tai Chong. So these are good tips that you can do at home for a daily basis to increase your fertility chances. But however, some women, they have more complex conditions that require medical attention. So this particular attention requires maybe TCM herbs or acupuncture treatment. And for now, let me invite Physician Leong, the co-founder of Oriental Remedies Group, to share with you more about TCM services and support.
Okay, hello everyone. So why we have chosen the points on the feet? Because they are much easier to locate. Okay, Tai Chong is really one of my favorite points because a lot of people are so frustrated all the time. Smile. Okay, so we move on. Okay, so if you have been trying the home remedies and you want to get a boost in your fertility treatments, here is why MOH registered TCM physicians can provide you with the professional services. Okay, we can stimulate all 3 points that Physician Loh have shared earlier, but there are over 400 points on our body. Yes, a lot on my face too. That's why I'm smiling often. Okay, so each fertility patient is very different from the other because of your lifestyles, because of your body constitution. So why not use acupuncture to get a more targeted approach for your fertility journey? So why is it so important? Because you have to know, we invest a lot of time to prep the woman's body across the whole monthly cycle. Okay, from day 1 to day 28, we invest a lot of time just to catch the optimal time of ovulation. Okay, so why not let TCM help you to increase your chances of successful fertility, okay, through herbal medication and acupuncture? Why acupuncture? Yes, acupuncture helps to stimulate the brain to release endorphins. Okay, endorphins is like a happy hormone. Okay, so for you who are feeling anxious or frustrations during this journey, let acupuncture help you relax. Yes, so when you relax, your blood vessels dilate. When the dilation happens, more blood is able to flow through them, okay, to send nutrients to your ovaries and your wombs. Okay, so maybe if you are considering IVF, be it now or in the near future, I want to bring your attention to how acupuncture can be used to help direct more blood flow to the ovaries and the uterus. Okay, so this is a typical cycle, okay, of the IVF. There are 2 key events: the egg retrieval, okay, and the embryo transfer itself. So with that, okay, I want to share with you, okay, most people, prior to egg retrieval, okay, between the day 1 to approximately day 12, they would have completed 4 to 6 sessions of acupuncture as well as consuming herbal medication. Why? To increase the blood density at the ovaries. Okay, so performing acupuncture on the day before egg retrieval and egg retrieval itself is to actually help to stimulate more blood flow. Yes, we just want to send more blood to the area, burst all the good eggs out of there. Okay, so upon egg retrieval, okay, which is on the day 12 itself, the next day you will feel sore and tired. Acupuncture comes in then to help you to recover and help with the wound healing process. So after egg retrieval, what happens is that the doctors will start to fertilize the eggs. Then when the fertilized embryos will start to embed back into your womb. Okay, so for these days, we are looking at day 5 of embryo transfer. You will have to do acupuncture as well to stimulate now the more blood circulation into the womb area. Okay, recall what Physician Loh shared earlier. Okay, your womb lining, okay, your uterine lining will be your blood, will be your nutrient support for your embryo for the next 3 months. Okay, so we really need to send a lot of nutrients there, okay, before the placenta is formed. Okay, so if post embryo transfer, then we have the regular drumbeat acupuncture sessions to prepare and help you aid in smooth pregnancy as well. Okay, so why so many sessions of acupuncture, some of you may ask. Okay, because research have shown that they compared 5 years worth of data, okay, tabulated 1,600 over women, okay, classifying them into 3 groups. Okay, the first group is people who did IVF alone. Okay, people who did IVF only on embryo transfer itself. And then the last group of people who did acupuncture sessions throughout. Definitely more acupuncture sessions as compared to the first 2 groups. So results have shown this group of women, okay, has twice as many chances as people who did solely IVF. Okay, this group of people also had 60% more chance of successful live birth, okay, compared to just 2 sessions on the day of embryo transfer. Okay, so that's the reason why acupuncture is important. Okay, acupuncture is important throughout the whole IVF journey. But what is the key difference? Yes, some of you are right. Okay, the key difference is the number of sessions. The more sessions you have to prep your body, the higher success rate. Okay, on top of TCM treatments in the clinic, we also offer tech-enhanced therapies to help improve your fertility. Okay, so we are glad to be the only TCM clinic in Singapore, okay, to provide ELT, also known as electrolymphatic drainage therapy for our patients. So ELT we bring in from the States. Okay, it's FDA registered medical device. It not only helps with immunity, but it also helps with blood circulation. Do you remember cold womb syndrome? Yes, so you have cold hands and feet. Yes, you have lower temperature in your abdomen. Yeah, so what happens is that circulation is not good. So when we do lymphatic drainage, okay, circulation will also improve. So many patients have actually experienced them feeling the warmth from inside out during the 1 hour session itself. Okay, on top of warming up the body, which is part of the circulation, okay, when your circulation gets going, your toxins in the body also gets discharged out of the body. Remember the 250 grams of plastics that we incidentally ingest? Yes. So we need them out of the system. Okay, so that your baby has the best chances of survival and the best pregnancy process. Okay, for myself, I have many patients with PCOS, cyst fibroids, and even menstrual cramps. They are doing ELT throughout. Okay, they actually experience a better symptoms. Okay, much more together combined with TCM and all. Okay, so they can better control their symptoms as well. Okay, so why prepare our body early is very important because, like I said, okay, your whole menstrual cycle, the women's monthly cycle is 28 days, okay, just to catch the optimal time of ovulation. So this is the key part, but we need to prepare across the whole entire stretch. So if you may or may not suffer from cold womb syndrome, but the tips we covered today is suitable for everyone, okay, except people who might already be pregnant. Okay, so herbs like 8 treasure soup should be consumed only after your menstrual cycle, okay, to nourish your body after the blood loss. Okay, this blood loss is only 80 ml. It's not a lot, 80 ml only. Okay, but this 80 ml, it becomes a critical impact on your fertility journey. Okay, so you have to nourish your body. Okay, we actually recommend nourishing your body on a daily basis. Okay, with the rose tea, with any other nourishing herbs. Okay, or even Serenity Blend, which contains 5 out of the 8 herbs. Okay, the next 3 points that Physician Leong shared earlier, we have Yingling Quan, also known as SP9, Sanling Jiao, known as SP6, and Tai Chong, known as LV3. Okay, so these are important points to massage on a daily basis. Very easy when you're watching TV, massage your leg. Watching TV, massage the other leg as well. Okay, so it's very easy. So we have also covered the importance of acupuncture for those who are seeking your chances with IUI and IVF to help raise the success rate. Okay, so TCM is important in our opinion because it prepares the body holistically. Okay, through different methods, at least it just comes to boost the body to be in the best state of health just for your fertility. Okay, next, I want to share 2 testimonials that are very dear to me. Okay, so Maybelline, the one on the left side. Okay, so Maybelline is my, I would say, childhood friend. We have known each other for 20 years. Okay, so when we were much younger, when we were in secondary school, okay, heavy menstrual flow, bad menstrual cramps, we didn't think a lot about it. We just continue playing. She plays netball and I play hockey. Okay, but since 2017, they have been trying to conceive. And her lifestyle did not help her. Okay, she has to sleep late because of her work. Okay, she has her whole body constitution as well as a history of fibroids. So what happened is that this actually sums up what we learned today, which is actually cold womb syndrome. for her. So this is the issue that is inhibiting her pregnancy. She is pretty much outside most of the time. That means she's not just desk bound and all. She's walking around. She's moving a lot. Okay, but cold hands and feet is actually affecting her, and of course with the cold womb syndrome as well. The touch test, yes, she just got everything, tick all of them. Okay, so what happened was that we gave her herbal medication. Okay, for her was herbal medication, and she actually felt the body warming from inside out. Okay, so it balances her overall body constitution, and this is what we have. We have a beautiful boy. Okay, this picture was taken, I think, within a week of giving birth, and now the baby is 5 months old. Okay, I'm just waiting to see them after circuit breaker as well. Okay, so on the right side, yes, we have another smiley baby. So this is a test tube baby. Okay, so this test tube baby has to thank his hardworking mother. Really hardworking. Why? Okay, I'll tell you about hardworking later. But the mom wasn't in the best state of optimal health. Okay, she has a poor body constitution. Okay, because of years of salad and raw juices. Okay, salad and raw juices, good for health, but not really that ideal for women. Okay, so she also has poor sleeping habits because of stress at work. She has eczema since young. Okay, she has a lot of stress at work. Okay, so if you take all of them like this mother, I believe a lot of women are in the same plight as you are as well. Okay, so upon learning the husband's poor sperm morphology, they decide to embark on IVF. So IVF itself, like as per all people who decide about IVF, okay, they realize that the need to prepare their body early. So she started consuming herbal medication. She did acupuncture sessions itself. Of course, increased sessions during the IVF treatment itself, but she has been constantly doing IVF. Constantly doing acupuncture. Okay, but the key thing for her and this beautiful boy, resulting at the end, is that she did 30 sessions of ELT across the 4 months before the IVF. Okay, so ELT on a regular basis, once to twice a week, sometimes even more, okay, depending on that, because her key issue is that she wants to reduce the toxin load that might impact on the baby during the carrying of the baby itself during the pregnancy. Okay, so her key thing was to reduce the toxin load to her baby during pregnancy. So I would say that she is successful because the beautiful boy, baby Liam here, okay, is super healthy. Okay, has a nice, beautiful skin. Okay, so he's about 9 months old now. He has never really fallen sick and not even fever after vaccines or feeding. Okay, so congratulations to the both of them, and these two babies as well as their moms, okay, are cherished friends of mine. Okay, so I'm glad that we can help them. So why not let us help you? Okay, let us help you. If you are on your fertility journey, you are not alone. Let us be part of your journey. So regardless of which stage of fertility journey you are on, okay, we have 7 bilingual physicians that can help you to understand your body better. So all of us are trained in NTU. Yeah, as per my physicians we have shared today. Okay, we also have an average of more than 10 years of experience. So if you always wanted to see a TCM, okay, but not sure whether you understand what the person is saying or you just want to understand your body itself, okay, let us help you demystify your condition and explain to you in layman's terms. Okay, so some of the things that we share today is like, whoa, a lot of information. Yes, but one-to-one, we can share, hey, this is what you're going through and this is how we can help you.